I know it has been quite a while since I actually uploaded anything to the spiritual channel. There has been things that I have been focusing on, which is one of them, raising my son who has autism, and then focusing on moving. I've moved from where I used to live to a new place. But the most important thing that I wanted to talk about, which will be some other things later on that I'll talk about too, is noticing that there's so many people putting on a false narrative of how a Christian is, painting their imagery that they are Christian, like the way you're putting on makeup or paint on your face or clothing or a pair of shoes, something that they feel like the imagery of a Christian should be. Um, Noticing this on social media and seeing it on TV and noticing people talking about it on news stations and stuff like that. And they have this anger and this hate still, but they are portraying that they are a Christian. There are a lot of people that are putting on this false narrative of how a Christian is supposed to be and how a Christian look and act and behave. And from looking at what they are painting, it is of a worldly way of thinking. It is of a way that they've created a religion of their own, and they have no relationship or no contact with Father in heaven. They don't communicate with the Holy Spirit at all. They communicate with themselves. These are people that have decided that this is the way they're going to live their life, and they're going to tell people this is the way that you should be and how you should act. You should have this kind of anger and hate and don't have any sensitivity about people going through times of struggle because you're focused on yourself in financial situations. And some of the people who are portraying of being a Christian or being in the Word and having a relationship with Father in heaven, they are using it for financial status, financial gain, popularity, becoming famous, or building their channel or their platform higher. And they don't show how it is to have that loving and that close relationship with Father in heaven at all. These are some people who don't even look and study the Word. I don't even know if they go to church at all or not. Um, they have painted their idea to people of what a Christian should look and behave and dress like and act like. They have their own persona on how they see things and view things. And it's sad watching how people paint this false narrative of what a Christian should behave, and it lead people from the word to going to other directions. I remember watching this one young lady decided to change religions because she felt like a lot of Christians were very mean and evil. This is because you're running into people who are not in the word, who are not Christians at all. They're just wearing the title. They're wearing it like it's a piece of clothing or some makeup you paint on your face, and then storm out the door and give the false narrative that they are a Christian and they're not. That's what you're viewing. This is what you're seeing. You're not seeing a person who is really in the Word, who they haven't developed a relationship with Father in heaven at all. When it comes to dealing with demonic energies and demonic stuff, because I've dealt with that, I've shared that on this channel before, I don't really think these particular people understand that there is really a Satan and then there's really a God. They have a imagery that is just the world, just like folks who don't believe in any religion at all. They believe that they are doing this all on their own. And that's what these people are. They don't have a religion. They have a made up religion that they put together themselves. So they have decided to move away from Christianity and studying the word and understanding how Father wants them to build a relationship with him, to saying they're a Christian, but they're painting a false picture. When you are telling someone to worship you and you're supposed to bow down to me, I don't understand where that came from, because that's just a worldly way of thinking. No person in a particular status of uh, teaching the word or educating people on the word should have anyone bow down to them like they are a god or a queen, or they are top priority, meaning they are more priority than Father in heaven. That's weird. that they would even put their lips together and say that. These are the things that I'm noticing, and it paints a horrible picture where people who are turning away from the word, turning away from having a relationship with Father in heaven, because you have a lot of people who are putting on a masquerade that they are Christians. And this is how things are being perceived and put out there, because a person that is trying to compare another person to Father in heaven's level and being on Father in heaven's level, to me, is a person that don't have a relationship with God at all. There's just too many people out here who have doors that are opening and closing, and some of those doors that you open, you invite Satan in, and Satan will portray himself as an angel of light, portraying himself as someone who is sent to you from God in heaven. And people believe that stuff because they're not doing any thorough research, and they don't have a relationship with God, and they're not in the Word. And this is the horrible part on how people put things out there, and how you have people who are really searching for truly a relationship with Father in heaven are beginning to run away. And that's because you have people who have created this religion of their own, and they want to box it up in Christianity. I had one lady who was from a totally different religion that came to me and told me she was a Christian. I didn't understand that how. Because their service is the opposite of ours. They don't have service on the same day. They don't have Bible study at all like that. I had one gentleman who told me that Father in heaven don't care if you sin a little, just a little. And he was trying to get me to agree with him. And I told him, no, he cares if you sin. So I wanted to touch on that. I want to touch on a lot of other stuff. But this is just my way of saying that I'll be uploading a little bit more on this channel and discussing a lot of the stuff that's going on that I'm seeing. It's becoming like overwhelming. I said much. I've been sitting back just watching all of it. And it has been really tough to look at this. And I've been talking to Dad in heaven every single day about every single day. Like from the time I told you I've dealt with some things, saw some things, I think a lot of people don't realize really out there. And a lot of people don't realize that God is really out there. For those of us who have seen Father in heaven and know who he is, there's a difference in how we handle things. There's a very different way how we communicate with people and helping those who are in need. You have to keep in mind the money that you receive is not money that you gain on your own. It's money that Father has opened the door for you to have. But keep in mind, Satan opened up other doors for people to think this is from Father in heaven and give them money, which is a way of them getting it ungodly. So you have a blessed day. Stay focused on the word. Don't allow anyone to persuade you from the relationship you truly have with God in heaven. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.